Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. It is time for another 2023 goals update, this time for the third quarter of the year. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I did print off my goals for 2023. This is just easier for me, so I will be reading off of this. I went through, added some notes, put a check mark if I happen to have completed things, put an X if I didn't. You will see one category is terrible, and we're just going to kind of go through them. If you would like to see my initial goals video, I will link that up above. I think I posted it like in early January. I have done 2 updates already, so this is the third, and let's go ahead and just roll on into it. So I did divide my goals into categories. So we are going to start with my book goals. Now, first of all, I do want to link you to my third quarter reading wrap up above. I will also put it in the description box because I did set some other reading type goals in that video. So if you want to go see what those were, check that one out. These are just very generic overall goals. So my first goal for 2023 was to read every day, and I have done that for the most part. There's maybe 1 or 2 days here and there where I don't do any reading, but because I listen to a lot of audiobooks, I tend to at least listen to the audiobook or an audiobook every day. So we're going to check that one off as yes. I also wanted to read 75 books in 2023. I am above that. I have actually read 100 at this point in the year, so we can check that off as well. I wanted to continue monthly reading of the Nancy Drew books. I am working my way through the original series. I believe there are 56 original ones in total, and I have managed to do that. I have not read my book for October yet, but we are on pace to continue that without any issue. I have read 9 of them at this point. Then I wanted to read at least 6 nonfiction books, which I have done. I have actually read 8 so far in 2023. And I also wanted to read at least 6 classics. This is where I fail. I have read 1 classic in 2023, one and only. It was The Histories by Herodotus, so that is a fail. I also wanted to make no new book purchases in 2023 aside from pre-orders that I had placed in 2022. I have not completely stuck to this, but I also have not gone overboard. So I do a little book haul at the end of each of my monthly wrap-ups, so you can check those out if you'd like to see specifically. I also did go over my purchases in each quarterly reading update. Then I wanted to finish my 23 and 2023 list. I am on pace. By the time you see this, I will only have 3 books left. I wanted to complete at least 15 book series, and I have done that. I have completed 15 on the dot, and I still have some series that I am in the middle of and want to get done before the end of the year. So that is a win. And the final one was to post a book-related photo at least 2 times per month on my Instagram, which I have not done. I rarely use my Instagram. That's not really something that I update regularly. I do post in my stories, but I don't make actual posts, so we'll call that a fail. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on into my beauty category, and these ones are where we see a couple other fails, but the first one was that I wanted to complete a January through March no-buy or replacements only no-buy, which I did do. I believe I did a wrap-up for that. I'll link it if I can find it and if I actually filmed it, but if you want to check that out for more specifics, please do. I also set myself a $1,200 budget for the year of 2023, and y'all, I have no idea where I am with that. I stopped updating that kind of after the no-buy, just completely forgot to like write down stuff that I was buying. So I don't know if I'm within that $1,200 or not, or on pace or whatever. I don't know if I've spent over that much. That's a fail. I did not do a very good job tracking. I have not decided if I'm going to attempt to do that next year or not, because I feel like I have not been bringing in like an abnormal number of products. I actually have been getting through quite a few products, so I don't know that that's really necessary anymore, but we'll play that by ear, see how I'm feeling at the end of the year. Then I wanted to pan at least one eyeshadow palette, which I am on pace to do. I am currently doing a Pan That Palette project. I do an update on that project in each of my monthly makeup baskets, so you can check those out if you would like to see how I'm doing. The palette I'm working on is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I actually just panned another shade today, so spoiler. So I do think I will be able to get that done by the end of the year, or at least pretty darn close. And then I also said I wanted to curate my skincare collection, get rid of products that I don't really need, don't use, don't have a use for, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job. I've gotten some things out of my collection because I have managed to use them up, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good place for that, so we'll call that in progress. Now we move on to the life goals, and this is where it's just completely bad, y'all, so we'll just run through them. But I wanted to make more use of my Netflix and Prime accounts. I haven't done that. I have watched one thing from Netflix probably this year, maybe more than that, like in the course of the year, but I'd gone months without touching my Netflix account. I did watch the first two like Fear Street things that are based on the R.L. Stine books. I need to finish the third one. Haven't read it yet. I was kind of saving it for Halloween. And I think that's honestly the only thing I've watched, so haven't done well with that. Then we get into like some fitness / health goals. These are all fails. So exercise 3 times per week and lose weight. I have not done that. I have been dealing with a very sore ankle. I finally went and saw an orthopedic surgeon. He sent me for an MRI. I now know what's wrong with it. So I have what's called a tarsal coalition, which is where 2 bones in your foot become like melded together. And as you get older, it calcifies and it starts hurting. So my foot hurts pretty much every single day by the end of the workday, which means exercising is just not happening. I'm probably having surgery on my ankle once school gets out for the school year, so I'll talk more about that like when it finally happens. But that was a whole process of getting a diagnosis and stuff like that. So exercise hasn't happened. All of these goals are kind of on hold until I can get my ankle fixed, because obviously a painful ankle makes exercising and things very, very difficult. Then I wanted to drink at least 3 bottles of water per day. I feel like I'm pretty good about that. I usually do manage to do that. I also wanted to be in bed by 10 p.m. Your girl has not managed that. It's just sometimes I'm really good about it. Other times I'm not, so we'll call that a fail as well. And then I wanted to learn a new hobby. Haven't done that. I wanted to complete a Conqueror challenge, which is like a running / walking challenge, but obviously with my foot the way it is, that hasn't happened either. And then I wanted to update my Always Fully Booked planner weekly. I have not touched that since probably April, maybe. So that's a fail. I did not purchase the new one. She does have them available for pre-order though, so I'll link her site down below if you would like to check them out. If you are a planner, it's fantastic. I am not a planner. Like, I'm not a paper planner person, so it was a waste of money for me. Beautiful planner, just doesn't fit my lifestyle. And then I wanted to spend more time with friends, which I also really have not done. So fail on that as well. Now we'll move on into work. Now, when I set these goals, I was a classroom teacher. So I will say with my new position, I've managed to do all of these things. It's a lot easier when you're not a classroom teacher. You don't have quite as much on your plate. But the first one was to check the calendar each Monday morning. I do that. We also get a weekly newsletter that has like the list of events and meetings and things like that. So that's helpful. I wanted to leave at contract time, much easier to do when you are in the library. I've stayed after just a handful of times because I am working on organizing the space. And then I wanted to leave work at work, which is much simpler to do when you aren't a classroom teacher. So I would say, yes, I've managed that. And the last category is YouTube goals. The first of which I put was that I wanted to reach 700 subscribers. And y'all, I actually hit 800 this week. So thank you so much to everyone who's followed, who comments, who likes my videos. Thank you. I don't really know how to express how grateful I am to you, but thank you for that. The subscriber count is really not in my hand. So even though I set that goal it didn't really have anything to do with me. It had everything to do with people watching and enjoying my content. So thank you. Welcome to everyone who is new. I'm happy you're here. The next one is that I wanted to post at least 3 videos per week. I usually post on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. For the most part this year, I have managed to do that. There's a handful of weeks here and there where I fail. I did fail like a couple weeks ago, no big deal. But for the most part, I have managed to stick to the posting schedule. I wanted to make sure I was replying to any comments, which I feel like I have done. I wanted to film a themed reading vlog every month, which I have not done. I did film one in January, but I haven't really managed to do that at all through the remainder of the year. I'm still kind of thinking things out, trying to decide what I might want to try to do next year. If you have ideas, let me know. The problem with themed vlogs is that for the most part, people get those books all read in the course of a week. But when you have a full-time job, that's kind of impossible. I can't read like 3 books in 1 week, typically speaking. So that's very hard to do like a themed vlog. I also have to be careful because I need audiobooks to be able to get through a good amount throughout the course of a month. And if I can't find books that have audio versions for free, because I don't really want to have to buy the audiobooks, that's hard too. So if you have ideas for what you would like to see in terms of vlogs, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll see what I can do. I am thinking about next year, but themed vlogs probably aren't going to happen on a consistent basis. Then I wanted to create some new to me content. I don't know that I've done a ton of this, but I've done a little bit. So again, let me know what you would like to see. You're the ones watching. I'm happy to film whatever you all are curious or interested in. Leave that down below. I will take it into account. And then the last one was to engage more via my YouTube community tab. Again, this is something I haven't necessarily done well. I don't know what kind of stuff you all would like to see on the community tab. So let me know. I'm open to suggestions and we'll see what I can come up with, what you might enjoy, that kind of thing. All right, so that is the end of my 3rd quarter goals update for 2023. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.